Why, hello there. It's Asenva here with the twins, Rain and Roa, and we're here today to do the very much heated BJD Addicts prompt number 35, which is about recasts. So before I go ahead and give my spiel on recasts and this prompt, I'm going to go ahead and put my invisible sign, the do not hurt me sign, do not hate me sign, please don't think any different of me sign, this is my opinion sign. The question is on recasts, and as much as there's a couple of things on DOA that I'm kind of not for and all that fun stuff, DOA actually sums up recasts pretty well, and I have to say I pretty much agree with them. So I'm actually going to go ahead and share with you, if you have not taken the time to go and look at the post that they have on recast/bootleg dolls and why they're not allowed on DOA. I think the 4 points that they put are actually really good arguments, and I think they're good reasons why. First of all, they don't support it. And I also believe in the same way that I wouldn't say I'm exactly 100% for it either. Now, before I get into the whole stuff, let me go ahead and give you one main difference between what this is and how it affects the community type deal. I want to say upfront that I am not a person for recasts. I am also not a person for bashing on other people that have recasts. I'm not for that. I would never ever go out into the community and point out a recast that somebody owns and be all up in their business and be like, that's not a real, Zoom Hilliot, that's like a fake one, what's up with that, you're a poser. I would never ever 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 do that. And I don't think it's right if people do that, and if they do criticize others. I don't think it's ever nice to do things like that, because like your mama always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But the prompt is about recasts, and let me go ahead and give you those 4 pretty good arguments that DOA has against recasts. Point number 1, recasts or bootlegs in general is actually illegal. Just like anything else that you buy out there, if it's copied off of something else, it's not theirs because they're copying it. So it's stripping somebody else's creativity, or whatever made them make that thing, Therefore, it's illegal. You're stealing somebody else's work. These people work really hard on these sculpts, and they put a lot of time and effort. The reason why this hobby is so expensive is because they're handmade and they're crafted. It's all original. So something that is just easily remolded and labeled as the same thing is not the same thing. Point number 2 that they have. Believe it or not, even though this hobby is so expensive, bootlegging in general, recasting in general, it really honestly does hurt the market. I don't care how much a Volks doll is. It could be $600, $700. Yes, that is freakishly expensive. And yes, it is very tempting to buy something that is half that price, that looks just like it. But in real, terms and everything, what are you cutting out because of that? And that's because I'm talking about Volks. Volks is actually a pretty successful company because their dolls are expensive and they're crafted exquisitely. They are. Other companies that are not that big really suffer. Volks is, one of the points that they make on DOA is that luckily, Volks doesn't only make just, Asian ball jointed dolls. They make a bunch of other different things. So, they have revenue coming in from other areas. But smaller companies like Doll Family or, Long Soul, Dragon Doll, all those other ones, that's all they do is ball jointed dolls. So the money that could have gone to them for their originally created work is now being, put somewhere else. As far as that point goes, just like anything else, you have a demand for it, and if, you know, they're not making a profit because you're going around and doing, you know, buying other casts because they're cheaper, those companies will suffer, and therefore you're actually hurting the BJD community as it is. I mean, if, for example, everybody were to buy, you know, cheaper doll leaves recasts because they're half the price, and doll leaves isn't making any money, you're not going to get any more doll leaves dolls. They're going to run out of money, and the company will die. So that's, I think, a big tragedy, I think, that really, I mean, it's harmful. And, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to bash anybody that buys them. You know, I understand this hobby is expensive, but you have to understand at the same time, the reason why it's expensive is because of what they are, what people do to make these dolls. It's not going to be cheap. And that's why I would say that I would be a very strong advocate. If you really want something, you're going to save for it. If you want it that badly, you're going to go through the right ways and you're going to save for it. And once you do save for it, nothing is greater than that moment when you actually have reached your goal and you have actually been able to purchase that doll. You will not regret it at any one instance. You will be so happy, and that's the amazing part of it, mainly if you don't have the money for it. Point number 3 kind of leads into the marketplace and different things like that, which is kind of like the sucky part. Because it does lead into a lot of mistrust. If you go through other companies to buy the dolls that, you know, either claim to be distributors or whatever, and they're not, and then you end up buying that doll, that sucks. You just handed, you know, a good amount of money off to somebody and you didn't get what you wanted. Their last point is quality is a hit or miss. And I've heard stories on both sides. And, you know, some people buy recasts and they're pretty much the same as one of the regular dolls you'd buy from the actual company. You know, the quality is there, it's good. And then I've also heard horror stories on the other side to where the resin is very brittle, or just things start cracking, or, you know, discoloration, like a bunch of different things. Just the sculpt looks wonky, or, you know, there's imperfections in the resin, like of just numerous things, just tons of numerous things. It's a hit or miss also when you choose to buy it. So I don't know, it's a scary risk. It is not personally a risk that I would want to take, you know, because even if they're like, oh no, it's like the best quality, you know, it's a really good recast, you know, totally should buy it, you know, it's great because it's limited edition, you know, you can totally get it, you know. You don't know what it's going to be like until it actually comes to your door. And let's say you do, it's a $600 doll, but since it's a recast, it's only $300. You're still, $300 is $300. You gave somebody $300 and they are giving you a poor quality doll. That's not fun. That stinks a lot. So I guess the stuff that they do put on DOA, I do understand. I mean, it really stinks, really. I mean, if I were to create a doll and I spent a long time designing it, you know, having it go into production, and then turn around and see somebody has purchased it and copied it and is selling it now at a cheaper price, I would feel totally gypped. And I don't think I could buy it. I would feel super duper bad. And I mean, I know a lot of, I've been reading a lot of people's posts on the video itself for Facebook, and I've been reading a lot of stuff in the forums and their arguments, but really, I know one of the biggest arguments is the price, that some people just can't afford the dolls. And you know what? I can't afford a lot of things. I really can't. But if it's something that you want, save for it. Don't try to cut any corners just because you don't want to pay the full price. It's gonna hurt someone. It will hurt somebody. And you may not see it as something like that, but really, it does. So I think one of the other questions that was asked is, if I had a friend that had a recast doll, would I still be friends with them? If I have any friends that own them, will I shun them? No. Will I criticize them and tell them they have a knockoff or make any other silly or rude remarks like that? No. Because that's not what friends do. And I wouldn't do that. Just, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, that's pretty much, you know, the answer to that. Whew. This one was a tough one, you guys. And, like I said, I hope nobody, you know, gets mad. This is just only my opinion. And I hope people do post their responses to this one. Because I know, like, I kind of took a gamble with this one, with this prompt, putting this one up. But I hope people aren't afraid to share their opinions and thoughts, because that's what's so amazing about this community that we have, is that everybody has such strong opinions, and they're all very interesting to hear. So I hope to see you guys out there do a video response if you guys want to. If not, feel free to put comments below. Like I said, please don't flame me or anything. This is just an opinion. I love everyone. I do not care. I'm not gonna like bash you or anything. It was just a question that was asked that I answered. We hope that you guys have an awesome day, and we will be seeing you guys in another video very soon, because I have a sneak peek review to show you all. Bye guys! Ooh, now I feel weird because I did this.